Hold on a sec. I know not all of you would agree with what the title says cause you guys may have your other favorites, and honestly, I'll also not put Frieren on top of my personal favorite list, but hear me out. When I say it deserves to be on top, it means from all the aspects Frieren has to offer, it ticks everything in my opinion that a top show should have. But before any of the factual reasoning, I gotta share my personal opinion on why I think it deserves the top spot, which is also the main point of this video. It's not something you'd necessarily agree with me, but I have to say this first and foremost cause before this it was Violet Evergarden for me that I wished people should have given enough chance, and personally that's still in my top 4 of all time, but Violet lacked certain aspects that make a show appealing for the wider audience. So knowing that Frieren is on top of MyAnimeList right now, which even has the exact kind of vibes like Violet Evergarden, it makes me so happy. And you know why? Because quite like Violet, Frieren's story is never about big plot twists, suspense, thrill, blood, gore, and basically everything that top critically acclaimed shows usually have. On the contrary though, it's a story that everyone must watch or like they should experience in their life for completely different reasons. Because for me, it's about simple life learnings from which even if a little, there will be at least something that everyone can take away and can inspire them to become a better person. Like after finishing every episode, you would find yourself thinking about your own relationships or life regrets if you have any, and also maybe memories that you cherish. So for me, a story like this that consistently sparks reflection on my own life while still being entertaining throughout is straight up a masterpiece. Like nothing comes close. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like other genres, but I simply wished for a show that's purely about bringing forth human emotions and just vibes to be on top, so that even those who are probably not watching it at first will get intrigued by the series' reception and try it out themselves. For me, watching Frieren made me realize to value the little things in life. It's not always necessary to have a thrilling, grand storyline to deliver certain messages that the author wants to present, because most of the building blocks of how we grow up as a person usually stem from everyday incidents that we encounter in our real life. I mean, there are no flashy or exaggerated power fantasy stuff going on in our lives, you know? It's just everyday mundane stuff that shapes us as humans, and that's exactly what Frieren has managed to showcase in such a breathtaking way, and that's as beautiful as it is inspiring, even without being complicated, you know? Cause understanding human emotions, in my opinion, is already complicated enough that most people don't even realize. But Frieren perfectly portrays that throughout its first season and will continue doing so in the future seasons as well. Throughout Frieren, Fern, and Stark's journey, there are countless many detours, and I can actually talk about each scene separately, but if I start mentioning even some of them, it would be doing injustice to the rest. And honestly, every episode of Frieren has moments that have affected me in one way or another, so I do have plans to make a video series of everything that watching Frieren made me realize, but that will be a long-ass project, so wait for it. Frieren for me is basically about showing the complexity in simple human lives and emotions that most people these days are slowly growing numb to. Like, most people in today's world have this I don't care kind of attitude, which I hate so much. Like, you should care. The fuck you mean you don't care? That's why over anything else, I'd wish people to at least watch Frieren so that they can feel certain human emotions that maybe they could never feel otherwise in their whole life. Either you'll relate to the conversations or just witness it and empathize with different kinds of human ideologies that maybe you never thought you would. Because not only Himmel or the main cast of characters, but every individual we encounter in Frieren's journey also provides something to learn from. Or you can just take a deep breath in and let it all sink. What I feel after watching almost every episode of Frieren is a sense of fulfillment, like I just watched something truly special, even if what was shown was just a mundane part of maybe a side character's life. Anyway, now for the factual points though, I'd have to say Frieren is the kind of show that does almost everything. You love slice of life, the entire series is exactly that. You need romance? Apart from Frieren and Himmel, which is already so great, we have Fern and Stark's growing chemistry that again feels so natural, unlike most typical cliché anime romances. Then you need action? Studio Madhouse nailed it with the series' action sequences. They just went above and beyond when they didn't even need to go that hard. And of course it's emotional as fuck, as you can already tell. Plus you also have politics, great world building, strongest villain of all time, that is Frieren of course, and like everything else you can hope for from a top show. Though my point is that those are not even Frieren's biggest selling points. Its biggest selling point is the fact that it focuses on none of that and weaves a poignant storyline just from its simplicity. Anyway, if you could empathize with what I just ranted now, then do consider subscribing the channel so that you don't miss out on my next videos, and you can also check out my other videos right away. I still have certain things I want to share about Frieren, but I'm not sure how long they'll take cause some of the ideas are really huge. Well, with that, guess I'll take my leave now. GG's.